Top of the morning to you. Iron Mike here. Welcome to the stream. This is FIA Race Nations at Sedigna, Road Track C. Trying to think of what to say. There's my mate Big Bruce Sharp. He'll come into the race a bit later. I was a bit surprised. There's cars like Forta Schools who did really well in this race, and yet other races he does bad. So it's funny where you see bad drivers up the front and good drivers at the back. Anyway, so this is my second attempt. My first attempt I used the Ford Focus, which is coming up next. It was my fastest car with qualifying, but I didn't practice it over 17 laps and the tyres were just dying. So first race I qualified 6th, and I really can't remember. It was a nightmare. I almost came last. Just tyres, and I was annoyed with myself. So I thought I'll try this race again. I'll go back to the Toyota, which is coming up now. Look at that livery. And just go back to what I know, which I thought the tyres were handled better on on that car, the Toyota. So, and also the race before, the manufacturers at Monza? Yeah, Monza. I was in a race with that Stoked guy who was ahead of me, and Big Bruce the Shark, who I mentioned before. And the very first corner I braked a bit late and I went into Big Bruce the Shark, and Big Bruce the Shark I think went into that Stoked guy. Sorry mate, I guess because I was in slipstream I just wasn't ready. Big mistake. Anyway, so this race I thought, yep, people are going to punt into the corner, and luckily I'm far away from Big Bruce the Shark, so I'm not going to hit him again. But I thought I'll brake a bit carefully first corner, and I actually found nearly everyone else did as well. I just blew me away. So Big Bruce the Shark, he did really well. He's qualified first. BioRiser, he was up the top as well. So have a look here, just nice and clean. Couldn't believe it. Maybe because it's the last race of the day, people are a bit more cautious. Sort of squeezing in around people. Amazed I didn't get flipped around or anyone else. It's pretty tame. I was surprised. But I was hoping this is the car that will be the difference, and also a bit like Big Willow, stay on track, keep clean, and people will make mistakes and you'll move forward. So I can't remember where I started, but I'm now, I think I started 8th, so I'm now 7th. I had my traction control set at just 1. I found if it was on 0, which I like, but I found these cars are a bit of a sliding car, so I would just lose total control. So traction control 1, brake balance right at the back. So I think brake balance right at the back, because I find the front wheels do tend to wear quite a bit, probably because of the weight of the engine, and they are 4-wheel drive, so they do tend to wear a bit more. Going a touch wide there. Luckily the car's red, so I'm going fast. So that's traction control and brake balance. Oh, bit offline. Oh, you idiot. So from 6th down to 9th. Got to do better. The race was so fast, I sometimes miss my brake points. There's also a torque setting, and I think I had it set at Big Bruce the Shark, he's been punted. Oh, this is ugly. Couldn't believe there's Big Bruce the Shark, he was up the front. And BioRiser, he's behind me as well. So things must have got pretty rough up the front. Let's have a look inboard. Yeah, the torque setting, I think I had it a bit more sort of even, close to even. So my front wheels, as you can see, they're just starting to wear. We're only up to lap 3. But during practice with this car, I found that even though my tyres were wearing, my performance was still holding pretty good. Now, the thing I knew in this race was a Ford Focus is fast, so I'm not going to be slipstream, bang, bang. Oh, there's Big Bruce. Now, I've hit him once, I don't want to hit him again, and I copped a 2-second penalty just then. And Biorizer, he must be having a bad day. 4 seconds, oof. So pretty much everything for me is set. It's now I'm struggling to get around this corner because it is a full drive. I'm trying to swing the back around, it's just not happening. I think it's because every time you try and get the back end to work it, the front end's working with it. Stupid car. There are times down here I'll try and get out of people's slipstream, because then so I don't overrun the corner. So there's a bit of to and fro around here. Alright, 2-second penalty served. And away I go. And there goes Cam. He overtook me. Now it's behind me again. Camo 351. So lap 5, and I'm working those tyres. So you can see the front tyres are wearing more than the back. But compared to the first race, I'm doing okay. Keeping out of trouble. It's a very fast track, and I actually found cars to be up behind me, and I'd swear they're going to overtake, and yet we're on a corner and they just can't do it. And then get around a corner, they'll be coming up to your next corner. They have to hold off. So it looks like really pretty much this very end corner and the straight is where you can overtake. So I'm going to be trying my hardest. And then pulling behind these cars for some slipstream. But I'm scared I'm just gonna ram into the back of them. So I just brake a bit early. Make sure I don't slam anyone. And then keep in touch. Luckily they're rally cars, so they can handle that. It's all okay, I meant it. Also didn't feel too comfortable being right behind someone. It's hard to tell where a corner is. You need to just go with your gut instinct. And then hope people just go a bit too far out on that one. But it looks like everyone's doing alright. And we've got some people pitting already. So I've moved up to position 5. Lap 8. Oh, hang on. Here we go. Just praying the people behind don't ram. Use you as a brake. So my tyres are starting to show a bit of wear, but like I said, when I was practicing it didn't really have much effect. But for some reason in the race, I started to feel it. Bang, bang. After 2 hits like that and slowing down, I'd look in my rearview mirror up top and the car hasn't caught up yet. Be surprised. See, I'm revving here to try and swing the car. Be struggling at that. More people are pitting. So I've got Big Bruce the Shark in front of me, and the other 3 guys in front, I reckon they're quite fast and maybe quite confident. I'm guessing maybe they've been a bit rough. I'm sort of leaning towards maybe they caused Big Bruce to be knocked back, and that bile driver. See, I'm just going a touch slow around them. I can't remember whether or not I've adjusted my torque setting, because my tyres are looking pretty bad there. So I may have just swung my torque setting more to the back, just to protect the front wheels. So again, I'll be trying to rev a bit to swing around. Some more people are pitting. Just for tyres though, you've got plenty of fuel. So it's not a real long pit time, but your journey in, your journey out takes a little while. I think it's about 15 seconds, which is quite a bit of time off your time. So I'm in 3rd now, and it's funny when I'm doing the race, there's so many corners and it's fast, I'm not really looking at my correct, correct, you idiot, straighten up. Yeah, that's it. I caught it. But things were going so fast, I had hardly any time to even look at my lap times. So they're not too bad. Probably I would expect a 58, which is my fastest there, to be kind of my average, and yet my average looks more to be a 59 to a minute. But at least, even though the tyres are wearing, apart from that, that's a minute. Oh, I slid out, didn't I? That's why it's a minute too. Right, so more people pitting, and I'm in 2nd place with Big Bruce the Shark. Now he was about 11 seconds in front of me, and this is where it gets fun, because this guy behind me has pitted. He's got new tyres, and I know he's going to pass me, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to make him work for it. And around here, 2 people together. Oops, I've hit the wall, and that's cost him 3 seconds. So what I was trying to do there is make him work for it, because Big Bruce the Shark hasn't pitted either, and I was concerned that they'd catch up to him pretty hard and fast. So I thought, well, if I can, I'm not going to block them, but I'm just going to ignore them and race my lines. Cleanly, of course. So he's got a 3-second penalty, and I can see other people coming up behind me. But I thought, I'm going to stay within 3 seconds of this guy. The Huzo. And I'm going to get in front of him, which I did. Therefore, guess what? You've got to do it all again. There's more stalling for Big Bruce the Shark. So I think he's learned his lesson around here, one at a time. And then I thought, here he's going to take me. But he didn't. He must be getting so annoyed because I'm slowing him down. But, you know, I'm not going to intentionally get in his way. And it's here. You know, I think, right, there you go. Again, just pull out of his slipstream. I don't want to ram him. And my tyres are going. And this is where I pretty much want the race to stop, because I'm only going to be going backwards. So what's that? 59 seconds. So tyres are... Oops. Run, rabbit, run. So my times are still okay. It's just when you see people coming up behind you, you feel like you're going slow. Obviously these guys are better times than me, and now they've got better tyres. And so I am just... I'm there for the taking. This guy, I thought that was nice. I had it drop in a second. I guess we're both looking at our radar. Didn't go in too hard and push me out. And that was clean. So next on the list is axe to fall. We're on lap 14, so we've got 3 more laps to go. See that right front is just dying. I've never had a race with tyres this bad. So normally I'd start braking at that the 150 mark. There's a shadow, but if I'm using caution, I'm probably braking 2 meters before it, just to make sure I can get that corner. So that's axe to fall has got past. And now I've got Big Harry 4. To try and get me. Yeah, that front right. It's just, I'm really struggling on that corner now. So it looks like he's in a WRX. So maybe he's struggling like I am. I'm just sitting here watching it. So we've got 1 more lap to go and I'm just hanging on for dear life. And look at that front right, it's totally gone now. I might as well just have a rim. So Big Harry 4 and I looks like we're struggling together. And Metallica is just catching up. And Biorizer, who's an 8th, I don't know what happened to him. He was in 1st place. That amazes me. So myself and Big Harry 4 go wide. And please, Metallica, take me cleanly. Yes, nice clean pass. I really can't remember where I started. I think I started 8th. Got up in 2nd place without pitting. Finally finishing off in 6th. My best race for today. And I practiced so much for that. Thought I would have done better. But I'll take that. 6th place. I think anything in the top 10 is good. Well guys, that looks like that's the end of the stream. Thanks for taking your time to have a look. Hit that like button, and good racing.